Good morning, everybody. Did you remember the words? Did you remember the actions from one of our very, very favourite songs? And I'm going to make a lovely link, a lovely segue, S-E-G-U-E. We know that word, one of the most commonly misspelt words in the English language. I'm going to make a lovely link through from All Things Bright and Beautiful through to our assembly theme for this week. But before we do, let's have a look at our calendar and see how January is getting on. Remember, this is my family calendar for this year, which tells the story of a farmhouse, a cottage, all the way through the year. And if we look at January, I think, what are we on? Let me have a look. I think, do I need my glasses on? I think I probably do. Can't see anything without them. Oh, there we go. I think we are now on Sunday, for me, Sunday the 17th, which is here. So it'll be Monday the 18th when you watch this. There's Sunday the 17th. So there's the month of January. So you can see that we are round and about halfway through the month of January. So gosh, goodness me, it's going really quickly, isn't it? So we've got another half a month of January to make the most of. And I'm going to tell you about something really exciting that I'd like you to be part of that takes place right at the end of January, from here, the 28th, through to the 31st. And we knew that January, I've gone the wrong way because I'm looking at my camera, that goes from here, the 28th, through to here, the 31st. And of course, we all know that January has 31 days because it's the first month on our knuckles, on our mountains, and it falls on the knuckle. So it's got 31 days. Okay, so where do we start? So today, in fact, all this week, I'm going to show you how inspired I've been by another book that I got from Father Christmas at Christmas. And this is it. It's another book that's published by the National Trust. And I would recommend it, although it's really quite difficult. Okay, here it is. It's called Nature Origami. And lots of you will know that origami is a Japanese art of making things, often things from nature actually, by folding paper. You don't cut, you don't draw on it, you can only fold. And somebody, I think Father Christmas must have known me very well because he knows how much I love nature. So this was under the Christmas tree for me. And it links really well with one of my aims for 2021, which is to get closer to nature. And in here, on every page, there is a different animal to make. So all of this week, I'm going to be choosing one of these animals and have a go at making them out of paper, because this book's great, because at the back of it, it's got all of the different papers that you can use to make the origami creatures. So today's creature, what will it be? Shall I give you some clues? Okay. Today's creature is a bird. Today's creature, here's a mystery clue, can be seen in our gardens and when we're out for walks, but not at this time of year. Today's creature, today's bird, eats insects, and it eats them whilst it's flying. Our final clue, some of you might guess it from this, or your mums and dads might, or your teachers might if you're in school. Today's bird has got a forked tail, which makes it really, really easy to recognise and identify. So here we are. Here were the instructions. They were really tricky. Today's bird is a swallow. There's some beautiful pictures. Can you see those forked tails, which makes them really, really interesting and easy to spot? And here's my attempt at a swallow. I don't think you are ready. Are you ready for my swallow? It was my first attempt, and I think, as you know, when you first start trying something new, it doesn't often go that well. A bit like when you're doing long division or whatever else it is that you're learning for the first time. And I think I'll get much better because it's a bit untidy as my swallow. Here is my swallow. Here he is, all made out of paper, and even the paper's got little swallows on it, look. And if you have a look from the back, there is the swallow's forked tail and the swallow's wings and his little head and his little beak. It's not bad, is it? Not bad for a first attempt. I think if I tried it again and made it again with a different paper, I'd probably do a much better one. Okay, so swallows. Why can't we see them at this time of the year? Does anyone know? Well, the reason we can't see them at this time of the year is because they're not here. They only come to Britain and spend their time in the UK, in the United Kingdom, during the warmer months of the year, because they're not designed to cope with the British winters. And so what they do is, once it starts to get colder in September usually, or October, the swallows gather and they fly off, and they fly such a long way. You won't believe how far they fly. They migrate. That means from moving from one place to another. And they move as the autumn starts coming in Britain. They move to somewhere much, much, much warmer. And they fly, they migrate all the way from our gardens and our countryside in Yorkshire and everywhere else in the UK. They fly all the way to Africa. That's so many. Look it up today, will you, please? Because I haven't looked it up. How far is it from Huddersfield or Halifax, where you live, Halifax to Africa? And that, when you look that up, is how many miles the swallow travels. And we won't see them returning to Britain until later on in the year, usually about May. How many days does May have? Let's just check. January, February, April, May. May has 30 days because it's down in the valley, it's down in the crack down there. And that's when we'll see the swallows return. So there we go. And I'm going to segue from my swallows and my birds into something else that's to do with birds and my other Christmas book, my almanac. And I read something exciting in my almanac that's led me to take some action. So I'll share it with you. It's on a page, still in the January section, called Bird Spotting. I'm just going to hold that picture really, really still. So if you want, you can pause the video at this point and have a chat about the birds that are on there. Because these birds don't migrate. These birds here are birds that we can see in our gardens now and all year round. And these are the birds that need feeding, of course, which I'll come on to in a moment. This is what I read at the top of the page. The RSPB, so that's the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, holds a survey called the Big Garden Bird Watch at the end of January every year. This is to encourage people to record the different types of birds that regularly visit our gardens and streets so that we can keep an eye on their habits and see how the weather has affected them. More than 500,000 people get involved every year. Check the RSPB website to see how you can get involved. www.rspb.org.uk. Well, I just put into Google RSPB Big Garden Birdwatch and it took me straight to their website and their page. And guess what? I've registered to take part. And here's a job for you this week, because you've still got time. Register, get your mums and dads to help you, or your teachers if you're at school, to register you to take part in the great Big Garden Birdwatch. And what we do is, during the days, and you just choose 1 hour, somewhere between the 28th and the 31st, so you've still got time because there's a couple of weeks yet, somewhere between the 28th and the 31st, we all choose 1 hour and we spend it either, if we're in school, looking out the classroom window, and you'll have like a tally chart to complete, or if you're at home, you'll get through a chart and a pack if you register for it, and it's all free. And all you have to do is count the number of birds that you see in your garden and what type of birds they are. So it sends you through a chart with all the different kinds of birds that you are likely to see. So I've registered myself so I can do it at home with Elise. And I've also registered us as a school. So I'm expecting some things through from them that's going to help us to be able to take part. So these are the birds that you probably see some others as well that you will quite likely see if you are quiet and careful and spend some time looking out of the window. And I've got all of these birds in my garden at different times. As the magpies, they're very naughty, very loud. They can be quite bullies, can the magpies, and bully the smaller birds. We have got, now the goldfinch here, he's very beautiful indeed. He's got a gold splash on his wings and a little red face, and he often sits at the top of the tall conifers. And he also, goldfish, cheeky chap, he often comes down in the springtime to our willow tree that I showed you last week in the garden and steals the soft, fluffy, pussy willow, because I think he uses it for his nests. Lots and lots of sparrows. And what else do I get a lot of? I've seen all of these in my garden. I can't read backwards. Is this one? No, this one's the starling, isn't it? Starlings. We have lots of starlings in our garden in Huddersfield, and our starlings like to build their nests a little bit later on in the spring in our guttering on the outside of our house. So we can hear them pattering about, and we watch them gathering things from the garden to take up to our guttering, which blocks our guttering, but at least it provides a nice safe place for them to nest. Oh, and the blackbird. We have lots of blackbirds in our gardens. Often you might see them actually on, if you've got a lawn, if you've got any grass, they will come down onto your grass and be pecking at the grass because they're carnivorous and they like the odd worm or two. So they like to peck those out. And what else have we got here? Is this one here the wren? Is that one the wren? Oh yes, one of the smallest garden birds. And this is one of the birds that I told you about last week that likes to come into our Christmas tree and eat the little insects and the arachnids and the little spiders that live there. So yeah, you might be really lucky and see all of them. And of course here, we heard him, didn't we, last week in my assemblies? We have the wood pigeon, the one that goes hoo 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 hoo. We have one that visits so regularly that we've given him a name. His name's Phil. Phil the wood pigeon. So look online for the Big Garden Birdwatch. Get involved because we're moving on this week from all things bright and beautiful with the plants and the trees from last week to all creatures great and small. So do get involved. I think it'd be brilliant to do together, and a really nice thing to do as well if you're at home or at school. So happy Monday, everybody. Have a really, really good day. I hope your lessons go well today, in school or at home. Look after each other and have a really nice day. And I'll see you with another animal, another creature tomorrow in our assembly theme of all creatures, great and small. So have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye.